go live.
There we go, we're live.
Well, greetings, world, and greetings, Seven Spot. Welcome, John, and welcome to the Daily Dose. It's something new at Seven Spot. How are you doing, John?
I'm doing good. Evening, everybody. Well, morning to you, Jim, and wherever you are in the world, morning or evening.
Yeah,
welcome.
7 p.m. for you and 11 a.m. for me.
Yeah.
So this is the part of the show where we talk about all the good things that are happening for all of us. And first off, we're going to be welcoming in Dave Lascelle. Hi, Dave. How are you doing?
Hi, Dave.
Pretty good. Hey, guys.
Evening. Is it evening? It's morning where you are, isn't it? Morning?
Early afternoon.
Early afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 1300.
Well, yeah, this is the important part of the show. This is the part where we get all the facts straight, Dave, because we always start our show off with the news and weather report. So I'm going to report that here it's 6 degrees above 0 Celsius, and I'm so happy to report that it's raining. We had maybe 4 inches of snow lingering around, and I think it all flushed away, and that just is going to make me so happy.
Well, we've not had any snow, not where I am. We have had some in the UK up north. It's 4 degrees today. Been miserable all day and cold. Well, 4 degrees. It's not going to go much above that. And then we've got a weather front coming in, so it's going to be chucking it down tomorrow. So, yeah, not looking forward to that.
Yeah, well, Dave lives in beautiful Tennessee where it's always warm.
I bet you've got a T-shirt on as well, haven't you?
Yeah. So what's the weather like we're in Tennessee right now, Dave?
It's -3. It snowed last night. A
whole
inch and a half. The city's gone nuts. And it's going to -11 tonight. It's going to be cold.
-11.
Yeah, these guys they don't really know what to do with it.
Yeah, that's predator weather.
Yes, definitely.
That one went over. That's a hockey term, John, for
the
Nashville Predators.
Yeah, for the Predators.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm supposed to do this part now, and we're going to do a narrative about how wonderful I am and how wonderful it is to be involved with Seven Spot. So you guys all have to listen. So
we've had a couple of callers coming in already. That's obviously some Paul. Are you going to?
I asked him if he wants to jump in. Now I guess he's just dropping in with notes. So that's fine too.
That's fine. Evening, Paul.
Yeah. Paul, I did send you a link, so if you want to drop in anytime you want, that's cool.
Yeah.
But anyways,
cool.
What I wanted to say is Seven Spot is growing, and we started off a long time ago as a Look at Me Facebook group, and that's only because I was bored and I wanted to show pictures of my not quite a Caterham and not quite a Lotus 7, and so I created the Seven Spot because I wanted it all to be inclusive, not just a brand related thing, because I've always felt that it's a movement and it's not about just a brand, and that's the reason I got into it. But I guess going on from there, we kind of grew, and I was, to everybody, my shock in particular, during the pandemic. Paul's having a dinner. Thank you for that information, Paul. Anyway, during the pandemic, just so that I can stave off boredom and going completely nuts, I started live streaming and using the Facebook's horrible live streaming. It was just awful. But then I did find the StreamYard and started reaching out to people in Japan, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, England, of course, and throughout Europe and America and South America, just like literally everywhere. It seems that we've got an appetite for what we're providing. So that was a cool thing. But lately, the most recent thing that I've taken on as a venture, and I'll explain why. And it's all got to do with Facebook. Facebook, as I've explained to you, John, what I use it for is a medium for finding people and stories. Because Facebook, there's all kinds of people who've got a story to post about what they're doing, and that's how I found Dave Lascelle, for instance. and 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 but one thing that Facebook is horrible at is a medium for telling a story is just horrible, because I say it's like a prison yard, because by definition it's a closed.
I'm holding my hands up because I've been in prison several times for something like I've no idea what I did.
There's the other side of the prison yard, because you can get put offside and you put into purgatory. But that's no, it's a terrible way of. It doesn't have any way of reaching outside of the group or the your group of friends. So what I've been doing is I developed a YouTube channel, which seems to be growing, and then of course what we're adding to that now is our digital magazine. But it's not really a magazine. It's 7 Spot Live.
It's completely different. It's live.
It's hard to describe, but I look at it sort of like, it's a digital program guide for the stuff that we do, because 7 Spot is now a media corporation. Basically, we are 7 Spot Media, and because we do reach out, and we have people in Tennessee and in England and Europe and
international,
who out of do volunteer work to help tell their stories and help operate the studio. So it's a way of collecting those stories and putting it out on a mag blog.
That's for Paul.
We can always rely on Paul. Well, whatever it is, it's hard to define what it is, but it's getting good reviews for whatever it is, and I'm just going to say, please, everybody, included in the description of this is a link to issue number 3 of our magazine.
Whatever you want to call it.
Please share it, because you know what? We don't charge for it. The stuff that we do at 7 Spot is all for the community. Our 7 Spot YouTube channel has in memberships, if you want to become a member and to support our work that we do. And I got to give a shout out to the 3 members of 7 Spot's YouTube channel. We've got high cost, low cost Dave. Thank you for a cup of coffee every month. And we've got humble nomad Paul, and I'm just going to leave it at that because I don't want to identify anybody unless they want their name out there. And Jason P. I just wanted to say thank you for that, because anytime we can find a way to help defer the costs of the servers and the website and all the sundry stuff like that, it all helps.
I'm giggling a little bit now, because when we started doing these live streams, I had a really old PC. Yours was on its last legs. StreamYard, it was 720p, whatever it was. I don't know what it was. It wasn't great. We were just using the technology that we'd got at the time, and that included dodgy mobile phones and running around shows and stuff. But it's now at a stage where you're running, I think, about 5 servers, Jim. I've got a brand new PC, upgraded me broadband and me fiber. I've got fiber optics straight to my PC now. There's no Wi-Fi involved. Whatsoever. And we can stream it up to 4K now from anywhere in the world at a moment's notice. So that's kind of like with these live call-ins and call-outs and banners and God knows what. So it's come quite a long way, I think.
Well, I go back to what it is, that's just how it works part. But what I like about it is just developing the community, because, since we started doing this, we started telling stories, and then I reach people like Trevor Rolfe. He did a live stream with us, and he's so fabulous. And he gave us he's such a good broadcaster that when I was invited to step into doing a factory tour for Westfield, I said, boy, we've got the right guy. So it's a matter of being at the right place with the right people at the right time. And, it worked out really, really well. And hopefully it worked well for Westfield. But it really worked well for us, because it opened doors to other people. Now we're broadcasting from specialty car shows and it's just been great. It's great to see it grow.
And I think it's just go on, Dave.
If I may, the joining thing, it shows up on all YouTube channels after a certain number of subscribers or whatever. But the support that I've gotten just from the guys here is well worth however much I'm paying you people. Like, and, that's what I'm like. Of all the things to waste money on, I have now friends in other countries, and I have people who are willing to just quickly chat with me on FaceTime. Oh, here, I'll just take my phone and stick it under my car so you can see what I needed to do to solve this problem that you now have, and so, I waste money on all kinds of silly things that don't do me any good, but it makes me happy to contribute in some small way to, easing Jim's pains with this and to meet the guys and get the support. Because if I had to call somebody, if I had paid a mechanic to answer any of the ridiculous questions that I've had, I would have spent an extra $2,000 in shop time that the internet you can't quickly find when you search sometimes. And it's just easier to come to one of these things and ask your question about, whatever it is. This is my particular problem. Can we figure it out? And somebody's like, oh yeah, I broke that when I did mine first. And when I redid it, I learned how to fix it the right way instead of getting into an online argument on a forum where nobody checks because it takes too long.
Yeah. And there's a lot.
Anyway, that's my plug for joining.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't really looking for that, but it does bring up a point that I want to help share. Is one of the things that StreamYard has helped us with is, of course, they've been doing our live streams and the recordings. We can record in up to 4K now, but we do and started doing educational live streams. And as you helped save us with my computer going down during a webinar, Dave, thank you very much. But aside from that, we're planning to, now that we have the YouTube channel with memberships, we're going to be doing YouTube members only live streams. And I'm thinking along that line, because it seems to me that the 3 people who are members now are builders. It would be great to have a stream with you guys, not only just to shoot the breeze about what's happening in your individual builds, but to get some feedback from you on what you would like to see on 7-Spot. So
I think the other thing, I mean, Dave, you touched on about the groups out there where you post a question, you will get some duff answers back. Whereas if a lot of the other groups, you have to be a kit car member to be on, and if you know a proper kit car builder and he's sending you a video of what he's done, that information is reliable, which is very important, because that some of the advice I've seen out there, not a lot is wrong, but some of it is just quite dangerous, and they shouldn't be saying it. Yeah.
Well, Dave and I were just talking moments before the show, and of course, the adage that came into my mind was measure once and cut twice.
Yes.
Yeah, we won't say what I actually did. Yeah, I probably don't need that tube. I'll just cut it out, leave it over here on the side. Come and find out. Guess what? Guess what's getting put back in?
Yeah.
But it's fine.
Well,
it's fine.
I'm going to bring John into this discussion quickly, because what spawned the name The Daily Dose was, John is prolific Facebook.
I've not been down the doctors. Okay, it's not that kind of dose.
He spends a lot of time there, and he finds a lot of great material. But one of the things about Facebook is, when you put something up on the Facebook page, it rotates down and disappears from view because of the fact that if it's not generating interest to stay vibrant and up to the top of the page, it disappears. And what I thought would be helpful is if we could, John, this is by way my work in taking a couple of pages that John had shown some interest in, posted on a 7-Spot page, and I thought, well, it makes an awful lot of sense to maybe have a show and just discuss some of the pages that you came into. So I'm going to bring in
Go on, go for it, Jim. There's a lot of great stuff out there, which, as you say, Jim, especially like me, I've been put on the naughty set several times, and when you get put on that, your posts go lower down in people's feed. So a lot of the time, people just won't see it. And there are some great pages out there.
Well,
really
but the whole thing is that one of the things that Facebook gets upset with, and other people in groups get upset with, is a whole bunch of stuff that they might consider to be spam. And what occurred to me, let me finish this here, because one of the things that you're keenly interested in is charitable work, because you do work with the Northwest Kit Car Club owners group, and it's the charitable work that you do is a children's hospice, and it's brilliant work, and we'll touch on that in the next little part of what we're playing through here. But one of the pages that you put up yesterday, I think it was a page that with MEV kit cars, and they have a charity of their own that they're
working with.
Maybe you can just touch on that.
Yeah, it's called the there you go. It's called the Speed of Sight charity, and I posted it up, and people might read the title and think I'm taking the mickey, but they are actually taking blind people out, or partially sighted people out, in one of their race cars, because MEV is a race car, and they get them out on track. And it's just a great charity. If you go and have the Speed of Sight charity website, you can just see the reaction to these poor people that are, I mean, some of them are blind from birth. Some of them, they've kind of eyesight's got worse over time, and they had never ever thought they'd be able to drive a car. And some of the feedback that they get is absolutely brilliant. Now, MEV have sponsored 2 cars. I think one of them's called. I'd need to ask Stuart Much, actually. Hi, Stuart, if you're watching. Stuart, where did the names come from? Because I think the first one was called Dexter, and I think the following one was called Baxter, and this one that's in build now, this one's going to be called Dave. Cool. There you go, Dave. But I've no idea where those names come from, so I might have to drop Stuart a note and get clarification. There will be a reason behind it. Yeah. But
So now MEV is building these cars for them, or is this going to be something that the charity is building the cars?
MEV are building them for them. There was another update tonight, which if you go onto the MEV owners group, there's regular updates. They posted another one today about the engines. Well, the engine stuff's being all sort of, the wiring, I think, is now in. So there we go. There are regular updates. No, that's not Sylv. But that's another person, a blind person there. Well, obviously partially sighted, because they've got glasses on there. I'm just trying to see. Partially sighted people and so on. Just great. And they're actually, somebody asked a question. It was a good question. Obviously, with them being blind, they don't know some of them don't even know where they're going, but they do have an instructor alongside them. And the cars are dual control. So you've got steering wheels on both sides, clutch and pedal on both sides, and then just the one gear change. So
that's an absolutely fabulous thing that Stuart is doing.
That on its own, when you think about what MEV are doing, because it's got dual controls now, the engineering behind that is something that MEV have obviously put their heads together on, and so okay, we'll do it this way. So I'd like to do a piece with MEV on just how they're doing that, and the engineering behind it. 2 clutch master cylinders, how they join them together. Well, I don't know.
As you know, John, we're trying to get together with Stuart and a number of other a very small group of other MEV builders to have sort of a Q&A talk about this sort of thing. So I think it would be great.
Definitely.
If Stuart could comment on that.
MEV have also been doing a lot of work with, as I say, a lot of work. They've been helping to sponsor and help the Ernsford Grange, which is the academy school. So they supplied the kit for that and given them lots of help. Ernsford Grange will be at Kitfest. So if anybody from the MEV group is going, go and say hello to them and give them whatever help you think you can give them. But there's a lot of charity work that's going on in the background that I think people just miss. It's the same with MK Sports Cars. They've just shipped, how many was it? I think, was it 4 kits to South Staff College.
Shout out to Jason. Thank you for joining us, Jason. And thank you for your membership.
Is that a comment that's come in? Oh, there we go. Oh, another one from Paul as well. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of great charity work going on out there that I think people just either miss. Paul Wiles put when you did you have electric today? I'm going to say yeah. Paul, no.
Well, this is great to have somebody who's actually not sitting at the computer doing the show, throwing the comments up.
Yeah, Paul, I didn't have electric because I didn't pay my electric bill. All right.
That's great. Well, we're up to date with the comments. Thank you, guys. So, moving on.
Yeah.
From that, we're going to move into Kit Fest because
never heard of it.
Carrying on with the charitable giving side of the pages that you do promote, John.
Yeah.
Tell us about the Fast Show that this is again something you promoted on 7 Spot.
Yes, because we organised Kit Fest when we saw that the number of shows were declining. I keep coming back to this. We were down to 1 show at the time, which used to be Stoneleigh. Newark got cancelled, then Newark got reinstated, so we were back to 2. The prices at both of them started getting a little bit expensive, and Peter Slater's been very not vocal, but he's got definite plans going forward for at least having 2 car shows. So he's moved one to Malvern, which is a brilliant venue, because it's just down the road from me. And then he's moving Newark now to a venue that will be in Lincolnshire.
Yes, you mentioned something. Now, I'm interested to find out when that is. Is it going to be taking the place of Newark, or
it will take the place of Newark? I can't remember the dates off the top of my head. Nothing's been 100%. It's going to be towards the back end of the year, probably August, possibly September. But that's with Peter Slater, because Peter Slater's he runs Grosvenor. Grosvenor Promotions, or whatever you want to call it. And they do a lot of shows. Grosvenor shows. Great bloke. We did a video with him, True Petrolhead.
No kidding.
And he said, yeah, absolutely. The comment that he came back with is, as long as he's in charge of Grosvenor, there will always be a kit car show. And he's actually just bought a kit car.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's bought.
Well, we have to get the Slick Peter on the show.
Yeah, definitely.
To just tell us about what he's purchased and how he's planning to use it.
I can tell you, it was about a month and a half ago, and again, a lot of people won't know that, know this, but XCS Designs and Harvey Rice, XCS Designs, he's bought do you remember the blue Hayabusa DAX?
Oh, has he bought the DHE or
the DHE, which is one of their demo cars with the Hayabusa 1300 engine in it. Yeah, over the moon with it. So hoping, as he said, I've messaged him a couple of times. He's going to be attending all the shows in that.
Well, yeah, we have to do an interview with him while he's still alive.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I don't know. He may end up stuffing it through a hedge. Though, to be fair, I think he's had some decent performance cars as as well. So he knows what he's doing. He knows how to handle a car.
I'm pulling his leg. So tell us about Kit Fest. I mean, you and I know what it is, but what makes it different is it's a live event, as you say. But as I look at it, and from my spot on the other side of the planet from you, is like it's not a static event where you go and just stand behind the ropes and wander around looking at the cars. It's kind of like a 3-ring circus. Yeah,
exactly. And we were. It's been going a little while now, and obviously we're trying to get more manufacturers on board. There's going to be more here this year. Let's put it that way. I can't reveal too much at the moment as to who's going. We will do shortly. The biggest thing, you're right, Jim. It's not a static show. It is. You can park your car up and people can come and look at it. You go and chat to people. But if you want to take part, you can. You pay your extra fee. You go and sign on at this.
And this is what I'm getting at is people. Yeah. It's not just at Santa Pod. It's you participate.
Yes.
In driving your car.
Yeah, exactly.
And up and down the strip, and you said as much as you like.
Yeah. Once you paid your sign-on fee for the day, you can run as many times as you want during the whole day. And don't get me wrong, it does get busy, and you know, especially, I mean, if the weather's brilliant, there can be a queue. But once you paid your sign up, if you want to run 1 or 2 times, you can. If you want to run 50 times, you can. Just join the queue again. I ran 7. I went late in the day on the Sunday, I think, once, and I ran 7 times in 40 minutes. And you know, as I'd come off the back end of the track, drive back round, straight to the front of the queue, off again. Because on the Sunday, late in the afternoon, most people are packing up and going home. I think you mentioned as well the fast show are going to be there on the Sunday. We liken it to, it's like kind of like 3 or even 4 shows in one. Not only got Kit Fest with kit cars with manufacturers that are going to be going, you've got a drift car area, so you can go and see the drift cars. You can enter that with your car if you want. You can also be a passenger if you pay the fee. You can actually be a passenger in a drift car. There's a motorbike stunt area, which anybody can just get their bike out and do stunts. But with the fast show, which is all modified cars, there's several competitions going on, loud as stereo, that kind of thing. There'll be a rolling road, mobile rolling road tuner there. You've got all the details there. But also the Terry Grant car stunt show, and the other Lee Bowers stunt show, which is a motorbike stunt share, is going to be there as well. So it's not just kit cars. There's a whole raft of cars that are going to be there, and especially talking. You know, when you look at some of the modified boys, what they're doing. There's one that sticks particularly in my mind. It was an old Ford Fiesta, kind of like square boxy type thing. Now he's rammed a huge engine in the back of it. And when he opens up the bonnet, there is no engine in the front of it because it's in the back. But he's got NOS in it as well. A wheelie bar on the back, parachute on the back as well. And what I will say, if you are going and you're interested in your cars and what kind of speed they're going to be doing, if you see a car with a parachute on the back, it's probably going to run on 8 seconds. I think that's one of the requirements. I think that once you start getting up to those kind of speeds, you need something to slow you down at the other end. They do say centre pod quarter mile. It's actually longer than that. I think it's 1.5 miles. So once you finish a quarter mile where the gantry finishes, you've got a very long run off. And then after that, if it goes completely pear-shaped, it's just open fields at the bottom. And some people have gone into that. But yeah, great event. The jet cars will be there as well. They're running over 300 mile an hour in a quarter of a mile.
Wow.
Awesome to watch. So yeah, it's a great event. Great event. And the other thing is we do it for charity. So
that's what I was wanting to touch base on.
Yeah,
you touch base on Northwest Kit Car Owners Group charity. Now, what is it? What is the charity that you're supporting?
We support Clare House. Which is a children's hospice. They've got a couple of places, the biggest ones on the Wirral, in the northwest. And what Clare House do is they provide respite for parents, but they also provide end of life care for terminally ill children. I've not gone to a run out yet because for my own personal reasons, I've not, because you know full well that some of the children that, if you do a run out, and that some of them do come out and have a look at the cars, you know pretty full well they're not going to be around much longer. So it is sad, but we do whatever we can to help them by donating funds from whatever events we raise. I mean, year to date, we've raised over £40,000. We did 9.5, I think it was that was the year before. The 2024 run out didn't go quite as planned. One of our members had an accident, which I won't dwell on that. So we will be doing another run out shortly. We're hoping this year we'll end up donating year to date probably around the 50k mark, which
for a group, nice.
Yeah,
that's very helpful. Very helpful.
And they can, of course, then claim gift aid on that, so they get another 25% back.
Well, this is actually touches base back on a conversation that you and I had in planning, if you want to call it planning, that we did for this particular show. Is it all came because we were talking about your ability to spam. I mean, just like the gift you've been given by God, John. You can put stuff out on Facebook across so many different pages. It's an amazing thing to watch. But you know what? this is what I wanted to say. Something is like when you're doing it from a position of advertising a charitable cause, it'd be nice, and I know that you do. You speak to the administrators of the different groups before you post it on there, and it'd be nice if people can recognize it for what it is that you're doing this out of the goodness of your heart and just purely as your way of giving back. So,
well, it is. Yeah, we like to think that with our own little kit cars, we are giving something back to the community. I mean, it's like you, Jim, with what we're doing with this 7-spot live and the stream. We do this all in our own time and expense, which is what we do with Northwest Kit Car Owners Group and the donation side. I'm not going to dwell too much on it. We did have our doubters in the past. We still have some doubters now, but I tend to ignore them. I mean, we've had some wonderful thank yous from Clare House and parents of children who have gone into the hospice, just thanking us for what we've done. So I just look back. I can sleep at night. I don't donate to any other charity. And that's the other thing as well. 100%. We don't take any money out of this. 100% of what people donate goes directly to Clare House.
Yeah.
So, you look at some of the other charities. I'm not going to mention them, but when you look at it, actually, if you donate £1, only about 20p gets to the person that needs it. We're not like that. We're not like that. 100% of what people put through as a donation goes directly to the people that need it, which is it's the parents and the unfortunate children that are Clare House. So that's how we structured it anyway. And I enjoy doing it. It is in our own time and expense, but we're putting something back to the community.
Well, we've now reached that point in our show where we're moving past the pages that you've been propagating and sharing, and we're just going into the discussion phase about as we get closer and closer and closer to the spring. What are you working on your cars, and where are you with the development of your car? So let me just jump in and say first that my car has been tucked away comfortably in a heated garage, and that's been great. But all cars, when they sit for a long time, they develop issues. And my car has some maintenance work to be done, and I'm going to have to get after it and get it ready. I've got my clutch cable needs to be adjusted and tightened down. I've got my brake. One of the master cylinders had developed a little bit of a leak from the reservoir, so I've got a new reservoir and an O-ring, and I'll put that on. And my discs. When you're driving in Vancouver, they can get a little bit of wet because it's raining all the time.
Yeah.
Here. So there's some typical surface rust on discs, and I'll probably have to take them off and have them shaved down a bit. But that literally is it, and then be ready for the spring. But Dave, yours is under construction. Tell us where you're at right now.
Where are you with yours? I know you did a lot of chassis mods as well. But talk us through.
Yeah, we're like on the yearly dose, right? Because even though the title of the show is Daily Dose, we all know I haven't really done anything except stand around. But that's okay. Didn't we do an interview with somebody that said it took them 18 years to build it? So I won't feel bad until I'm like a lot older than this.
Yeah.
I was. Most of us probably know Oliver Picard, who's building the crazy GTM.
Yes. Great channel.
I made some comments with him, and I joined his channel too because he just sent me a note. I can't remember if it was on our group or one of the. I added him to one of the K-swap rear drive K-swap groups that I'm in because I'm using K24. And so we were discussing the Miata front subframe, which I was going to originally use, but I think it's going to actually work better if I just make a couple of plates and build a substitute front subframe, so I can have all the things hanging where they need to be, and I may actually be able to use the actual original Miata mount. So I'll probably cut this subframe up and mount it to the plates that I'm going to use, so I can get everything placed right. Because I'm using like Voodoo type plans, but mine's
Voodoo
a
chassis,
442. It's a 442 chassis, so if I stick everything where everybody else does when they build a Voodoo chassis, my wheelbase balloons to like 102 inches, and I just slid some things around, and it looks like I'll get it back to about 95 inches, which is on the big end of things, but I think
Doable.
as average wheelbases of low cost certainly go, it's not that bad. 90 to 95 inches, not certainly it's manageable. And since I'm using the whole right now, still using the whole stock NB Miata rack, all those mounting points, they come with the car, so I don't have to fiddle with it so much. Now, I watched Oliver's bump steer video, and he and his dad probably measured that thing like 800 times or something. I probably will not go through all that. Like, it's not. It's important, but it's not the most important thing. But what I will be able to do is adjust the amount of anti-dive in the front. Not like but I'll be able to set it. So I have to mount the rear before I can make the measurements for the front. To decide how much anti-dive, because as I just measure it, like the decline angle of the Miata front upper A arm it's like a lot more degrees than I thought it would be. Plus, extending the wheelbase will make a little bit of that. I need even less. And since the low cost, or sevens don't need much anyway because of the height of the engine. So those things it'll be nice to have something else on my list that I've got to work on, but it will be in the end, hopefully what I want it to be. So that should work, and I'll still probably stick with the factory orientation of the steering rack versus the pickup points. I think.
Jason just tuned in to say he's working on his roll cage, and I sent him an invite to just pop on in. So it'd be nice if he could pop in and just say hi. Jason, come on in.
That'd be cool.
He's going to be at Kit Fest with his very unusual car. I don't know if anyone's seen the videos.
But it makes total sense what he's doing.
Yes.
I mean, from a low cost perspective, I mean, as we go on further and further into the 21st century, the whole idea of finding a car with this front engine rear wheel drive, just like, what is the gene pool you're going to be drawing from, right?
It's MX-5, but he's gone for Merc.
Merc.
The 230, the SLK. I saw somebody working on an SLK the other day. Somebody in one of the rear drive K-swap groups is trying to K-swap their 230 SLK. So it's one of the few platforms, unless you go to the Z3 and Z4, but then you have to do BMW 17 computers to turn the car on.
When anybody mentions that BMW, I just see pools of oil and coolant on the ground.
You'll probably be seeing the bank manager as well with the parts, price of parts. I know Jason's doing his own almost bespoke one. He's cut out all the bits he doesn't need. He's going OEM, completely different ECU, so it doesn't need all the sensors and stuff. And obviously with that engine, it's going to be supercharged. So it's not going to hang around.
Right. I just watched the video that you did with him. It was just very recently, right, John? You guys.
A couple of weeks ago, I think it was. Yeah.
Well, you're here in spirit, Jason. Good for you.
Yeah.
But also, bodywork. Also a thing, because I have a single Caterham fender that's for the wrong side. I think I have the wrong drive exhaust side, with the cutout in the rear fender that I got from a friend from the Lotus Club of Northern Virginia. And those fenders are very strange. For a 442, they stick out a lot. And I have to now figure out, I think I'm going to use Bassett wheels and only use a 15 by 7s. I think with maybe only a 2-inch back spacing to get me a lot of clearance, and it can, it'll put a little more little more wheel up under the fender. When I put the stock Miata wheels with that standard Caterham fender on it, looks really bad. It just doesn't stick out enough. Long way down the road, but
those are the type of situations where you can think about it and plan. And right now is just getting the 4 wheels on the ground, and so it'll be a roller to start with, and then a runner, and then you can do all the cosmetic stuff at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we have this message in from Paul. Paul, if you're still online, you say you're building a new car for the NEC, as you do every year. What are you building now? I've kind of got an idea, but you've got so many cars. Which one have you picked on to build this year? If you're still online, just drop us a quick note or drop in and tell us what
he's also got a link if he wants to drop in. So, Paul, if you want to drop in, that'd be cool too.
Yeah.
But while we're waiting for that, why don't we go on? Because one of the features of our show is more pages that we found. And John, you told me about this very cool page. And was it called the Gentleman's Drivers?
Yes. Yeah, the Gentleman Drivers. Gentleman Drivers, yes. There's another Facebook group as well. It's not this one, but yes. Yeah, well, go for it.
What I like about the Gentleman's Driver, and as I was scrolling through there, it's so typical and topical this time of year is skiing, and it took me back because this is it's about a Lambo in winter, and I thought, well, this is interesting. It took me way back, like 50 years ago, when I was traveling through Europe, and I was going through Italy to Marmolada, where they one of their ski hills is there. And I remember trekking through Italy with my Strolls competition ski boots in the middle of the summer in the early fall. But went up to Marmolada, and what a gorgeous place it is.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I have to admit, I've never been a huge fan of the Lamborghinis, if I'm honest. I mean, certainly some of the early kit car replicas as well didn't quite look like they kind of had the outline of a Lamborghini. The later ones were a lot better.
Well, what I found interesting, number one, it's in the snow, and of course it's not deep snow, but it's all-wheel drive, as I understand it.
Yeah.
Just really.
So with the kits that were available in Europe, John, what platform would they put the kits on? A Lamborghini kit? Because I know here a lot of them were like Fiero based.
Yeah.
Did they go on that?
A lot of them were based on VW Beetle. It was a cheap, kind of like cheap entry. So they never sounded quite right. They used the Beetle floor pan, various engine upgrades you could get, but they were never. I mean, they looked great. Some of the later ones, but they were never going to handle like a proper sports cars. No. It's a VW underpinnings at the end of the day. But then a lot of them went down bespoke chassis routes as well. You could have whatever engine you wanted in the back of those, up to V8s as well. There were a couple that tried to put, V6s and V8s on a Beetle floor pan. It just ended up twisting the chassis, if I'm honest. So the later ones with the custom build chassis were definitely the ones to go for, and they look better as well than the early ones.
Yeah, as we're looking at these pictures and on this Facebook group, it took me back again to my experience with Marmolada, and so I'm now on their snow report from Marmolada, and it shows that the temperature is -9 at the top of the mountain, and they've got about it's not been a very big snowfall year for them at Marmolada. It looks like we basically got a meter of snow, but they are expecting the next snowfall to be on the 26th of February. At least that's what they're reaching out. So that's interesting.
I did a couple of interesting facts which most people will know. Some people might not.
You gotta love skiing.
Yeah,
this is how John ends up in Facebook jail. He's like, I just happened on this picture of a Lamborghini. It's really cool.
Yeah. And it's some bird with whatever out. Yes. No, but a couple of interesting facts I found about Lamborghini, which most people will know, but I thought I'd just repeat it. The Lamborghini's logo is obviously a charging bull. But most people won't know it actually has a double meaning. Not only is it is a bull, but it was. I'm going to pronounce this completely wrong. It's Ferruccio, who I think was born. He's born in April. Ferruccio, that's the one. Born in April, so that gave him the zodiac sign of Taurus. Obviously, bull. Obviously, bull. Yeah. Apparently, he was also a huge fan of Spanish bullfighting, which is why the logo on the front of them captures that moment just before the bull springs forward in a whatever bullfight or whatever. So that I found interesting. Yeah,
I love interesting things like skiing.
It's the après ski as well,
yeah.
which I particularly enjoyed.
Well, that's just way too cool. Now, what do we got here? I'd see if you've got to find a way to bring that in. Trying to remember all of our studio techniques. But we've put together a little video. Like, you're into the memes big time, John. And
well, some of them I just find absolutely hilarious. Some of them, I'm on a lot of groups. Some of them I can't share. I don't want to get banned again. There are some very risky ones out there, and how people get away with it, I don't know. But there are a lot of ones I won't share the car group because it's not particularly car related. So I try and keep any memes car related. But there's some absolutely hilarious ones out. And some of the stuff that people come up with I just found it absolutely hilarious. That's just me.
Well, it's too cool. So anyway, we've got to get us out of the show, run us out of the show. We've got to run out with our meme presentation video. So let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
And let's see, haven't brought them in. It doesn't show that it has been brought in.
Hang on a minute. Is that the 7 Studio one? Yeah. Paul's just admired that Lamborghini with the pair of skis in it. So, nice one, Paul. Thank you.
And
it's all downhill from there.
Yeah, it's all downhill from here.
That should be the meme right on this picture of the three of us. It's all downhill from here.
All downhill from here. I did see it pop up, Jim. You're right. I can't see it now.
We'll get there somehow. There's studio, and then I should be able to bring in this video, share screen, present, share screen, and what happens when you run out of memes? Share. But it's not sharing, it doesn't show it, or does it?
You got to add it to the stage. Yes, I can see it. There you go.
There we go. So we'll just play this out, guys. And I'm going to say thank you for being with us today on the very first Daily Dose show. And we'll see you at 7 Spot.
Yeah. Be seeing you.
So here we are again.
At the end. This is
That's the end. Thank God.
End of the end show.
Yeah. So anyways, guys, thanks very much. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, John.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jim.
Message from High Cost, Low Cost.
Oh, yeah. I sneak one in there because I'm not logged in right.
There you go. Perfect. All right, guys. We'll see you at 7 spot.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Cheers, guys.
Be seeing you.